We're going to solve the general algebraic problems here, such as factorizing, as you can see, and it's mostly about factorizing, and here like simplifying fractional algebraic expressions, expanding and simplifying, factorizing once again, and simplifying by factorizing first and simplifying. Then let's start here with factorizing. So the first one, if you look at it, it's written as pair ax squared plus bx plus c. When we see it written in this form, we open two brackets and then we look at the last term, which is the c, and it's negative. If it's negative, then one bracket will take the addition sign and the other bracket will take the subtraction sign. The first term is xx, and then 132. Let's find the numbers that when we multiply with each other will give us 132. So 1 times 132, then 132 divided by 2. So 2 times 66, and 132 divided by 3. So 3 times 44. Then 132 divided by 4. 132 divided by 4, it will be 4 times 33, and then 132 divided by 5, it's not divisible. 132 divided by 6, so it's 6 times 22, and then 132 divided by 7, it's not divisible. 132 divided by 8, it's not divisible. 132 divided by 9, not divisible. 132 divided by 10, not divisible. 132 divided by 11, it's 12. So 11 times 12. And we are going to choose this pair because 11 times 12 is 132. And the difference between 12 and 11 is 1, which is the coefficient of x here. So we must place the 12 here because the middle term is carrying the negative sign, and we place the 11 here. How do we check on our factorizing? So the first term in the first bracket with the last term, and the second term with the first term in the second bracket. So 11 times x is 11x, and x times negative 12, it's negative 12x. And if we say 11x plus minus 12x, the answer will be minus x, which is the middle term. And that's how we know that our factorizing is correct. Let's go to the second one. So x cubic minus 4x, we need to find the common factor. X is going to come out, and x times x squared will give us back x cubic minus 4, because x times minus 4 will give us minus 4x. So this is a two steps of factorizing. The x will remain as is, and we open a squarish bracket here. So we have a squared expression minus a squared number. In this case, we open two brackets. One bracket will take the addition sign and the other one will carry the subtraction sign. So here it's going to be x and 2. And now our factorizing is complete. Let's go to the second one. 9t squared minus ut squared. So a squared expression minus another squared expression. So we're going to say two brackets plus minus 9t squared, it's 3t times 3t, and u2 squared, it's u times u, and we're done. Let's go to the second one here. We take the first two terms. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. We're going to take every two terms together. So 2c minus 4d, the 2 as a common factor will come out. Open a bracket, c minus 2d. Why? Because 2 times c is 2c, and 2 times negative 2d, it will come down to negative 4d. Then minus PC plus 2PD, the P is the common factor between the next two terms, and P times C will give us back minus PC, and minus P times minus 2D, it will give us back, so minus P times negative 2D, it will give us plus 2PD. Now, this is a two steps of factorizing. As you can see, what's common here is C minus 2D. C minus 2D. So C minus 2D as an expression will come out. We open a bracket. What is left here? 2 minus P. And if you want to check, you can always expand. In order to check, C times 2, it's 2C. C times negative P, it's negative CP. Negative 2D times 2 is negative 4D. And negative 2D times negative P, it's plus 2DP. And if you check, so we have the 2C, we have negative PC or CP, we have negative 4D, and we have plus 2DP or 2PD. So this is equal to the original expression that is given in the question, which means that our factorizing is correct. Let's go to the next factorizing problem. So here, 15c squared minus 5c. 15 is not a squared number and 5 is not a squared number. So the case here, we need to find the common factor. So c, is it only c? That's not right, because they say factorize completely. So 5c is gonna come out. Open the bracket, times 3c. So 5c times 3c will give us 15c squared. Then 5c times negative 1 will give us back the negative 5c. Like I said, you can always check by expanding. 5c times 3c, it's 15c squared. 5c times negative 1, it's negative 5c. So as long as we got the first expression that is given in the question, it means that our factorizing is correct. If you go to the next one, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. We're going to take the first two terms and then the second two terms. So 2kp minus km, obviously the k is gonna come out. Open a bracket. We're going to have 2p. Why? Because k times 2p will give us back 2kp, and minus m. Why? Because k times negative m will give us negative km. Here, plus 6p minus 3m. Obviously, the 3 is the common factor. And to get back the 6p, it's going to be 2p minus m. Why? Because 3 times 2p, it will give us back the 6p. And 3 times negative m, it will give us back the minus 3m. Now, as you can see, this is a two steps of factorizing. What's common now is the expression 2p minus m. 2p minus m. So we're gonna get the 2p minus m out. We're going to open a bracket. What is kept out here? K plus and 3 here. And like I said, the factorizing is complete now. We can always check by expanding as following. 2p times k, it's 2k kp. 2p times 3, it's going to be plus 6p, and minus m times k, it's minus mk. Minus m times 3, it's minus 3m. Let's check. 2kp is the first term, plus 6p, which is plus 6p here, minus mk or km, minus km here, minus 3m. So we got them all as the first expression that's given in the question, which means our factorizing is correct. Let's go to next. 4p squared minus 9. 4 is a squared number, and p, so this one, it means 2p times 2p. And this one here, it means 3 times 3. So a squared expression minus a squared number. To factorize it, we open two brackets. The first bracket will take the plus or the addition sign, and the second bracket will take the subtraction sign. 4p, it means 2p times 2p, and 9, it means 3 times 3, and we're done. The next one, we're going to take the first two terms and the last two terms. So 2ax minus 4bx, we're going to get the common factor, which is going to be 2x. Open a bracket. Here it will be a, because 2x times a, it will give us back 2ax, and minus 2b, because 2x times 2b, it will times negative 2b, it will give us negative 4bx, minus ay plus 2by. The y is gonna come out, open a bracket, and here it will be a, because minus y times a, it will be minus ay, and here it will be minus 2b, because y times or negative y times negative 2b, it will give us back plus 2by. Now, as you can see, the expression a minus 2b is common. A minus 2b, a minus 2b. So we're gonna get out the a minus 2b, open a bracket here. What is left out? 2x minus y. And if you check by expanding, you will get, or you must get, the original expression in order to know if your factorizing is correct or no. Same applies here. Let's take the first two terms and then the last two terms, equals 2a plus 4. The 2 is going to come out as a common factor. Open a bracket. Here it will be an a, the first term, because 2 times a will give us back 2a, plus 2, because 2 times 2 will give us the second term, which is 4, plus ap plus 2p. So here p is the common factor, so it will come out, and then the first term will be a, because p times a will give us back ap, plus 2, because p times 2 will give us back the 2p. Now what's common here is a, the expression a plus 2. So we put it inside a bracket and we open another bracket. What is left here? 2, plus what is left here? P. And the factorizing is complete. Now, if you look at this question here, 162 is not a squared number and 8 is not a squared number. So we don't have a squared expression minus a squared number. So in this case, we need to get out the common factor. So 162 divided by 8, it doesn't work. As you can see, 162 over 8, it does not work. It will give us like 20.25, and that's not what we need. Okay, 162 divided by 4. Does it work? No, because 162 divided by 4, it will give us 40.5. But 162 divided by 2, it will give us 81. So the 2 is going to come out, open a bracket, 81, because 2 times 81 will give us back the 162, minus 2 times 4t squared will give us back the 8t squared. So again, 2 times 81 is 162, which is the first term in the expression. 2 times negative 40 squared, it's negative 8t squared, which is the second term in the expression. So which means that the factorizing is correct, but it's not complete. As you can see, it has 2 marks here, which tells you that it has 2 steps to do. We're going to keep the 2. We're going to open a squarish bracket. So this is a squared number. Why? 81 is basically equal to 9 to the power of 2, or 9 times 2. And 4t squared is basically equal to 2t times 2t. So it will be, we are going to open 2 brackets. First one will carry the addition sign and the second one will carry the subtraction sign. 81 is 9 times 9 and 40 squared is 2t times 2t. Now our factorizing is complete. Here, we're going to take the first 2 terms and the last 2 terms by finding the common factor. Ax plus ay, so a is going to come out, open the bracket, x, because a times x will give us ax, plus y, because a times y will give us ay, plus 3cx plus 3cy. 3c is the common factor, which is going to come out, open a bracket, 3c times x will give us 3cx, plus 3c times y will give us 3cy. And as you can see, this question has 2 marks, so it is definitely 2 steps of factorizing. X plus y is common, so bring x plus y out as an expression, open a bracket, a is left out, so a plus 3c is left out, plus 3c, and now our factorizing is complete. As you can see here, you might get confused. 3a squared is not a squared expression because 3 is not a squared number. Minus 12b squared, 12b squared is not a squared term because 12 is not a squared number. So in this case, we need to get out the highest or the common factor, which is 3. Open a bracket. The first term is a squared inside the bracket because 3 times a squared will give us 3a squared, minus 4b squared because 3 times negative 4b squared will give us the next term in the expression, which is 12b squared. Now, a squared is a squared term, minus 4b squared is a squared term. So if this is the case, and since we have 3 marks here, so the 3 will remain the same. You're going to open a squarish bracket. You're going to open 2 small brackets. One will carry the addition sign and the second one will carry the negative sign or the subtraction sign. A squared, it means a times a, and 4b squared, it means 2b times 2b, and our factorizing is complete now. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. So we're going to take the first 2 and the last 2. So yp plus yt, y is going to come out as a common factor, and p is the first term inside the bracket because y times p is yp, plus t is the second term inside the bracket because y times t is going to give us back yt, plus 2xp plus 2xt, so 2x obviously is going to come out as a common factor. Open the bracket, 2x times p will give us back 2xp, plus 2x times t will give us back 2xt. As you can see, this is a 2 steps of factorizing. So p plus t is the common factor now, which is gonna come out. And we're going to open a bracket. Y is left here plus the 2x. And now the factorizing is complete. As you can see here, we have to get the highest or the common factor out, which is 7. Open a bracket, h plus k. Open another bracket. So 7, we need to get it back to 7 times h plus k squared. We need another h plus k here, minus 21. It will be 3 because 7 times 3 will give us 21, and that's it. Okay, now you need to factorize here. So 4p squared q is not a squared term, and 6p q squared is not a squared term. So we need to get out the common factor, which is 2p q. Open a bracket. So it will be 2p, because 2pq times 2p will get us back the 4p squared q, minus 3q, because 2pq times 3q, it will give us minus 6pq squared. And now our factorizing is complete. Of course, we always check by expanding. Since I have the space here, so I'm going to do the checking. 2pq times 2p, it's going to be 4p squared q. 2pq times negative 3q, it will be negative 6pq squared. Now, let's go to the next one. We're going to take this term, the u and the ux, and then the 4t and the 4tx. Okay, so it's like we are reorganizing the terms. So u plus ux, and then plus 4t plus 4tx. Both expressions are equal to each other, but we just reorganize them so that we can factorize every 2 terms together. So u is the common factor here, so the u is going to come out, and it's 1 here because u times 1 will give us back the u, and then plus x because u times x will give us back the ux, plus here 4t is going to come out, and 4t times 1 will give us back the 4t, plus x because 4t times x will give us the 4tx. Now 1 plus x is the common factor, so as an expression, so we're going to write 1 plus x is going to come out, and what is left here, u plus 4t, and now the factorizing is complete. Okay, let's go now to this part here. So you are given 2 algebraic fractions where you need to subtract them. As we know, if we are adding or subtracting fractions, denominator must be the same. So in this case, we're going to multiply the first fraction by 5, each the numerator and the denominator, and the second fraction by 2. And let's do that. So 5 times 2x minus 1, like I said, if it's an expression, we always multiply it. We always place it inside a bracket if we are multiplying it. And here it will be 5 times 2 minus this fraction. So 2 times the expression 3x plus 1 and 2 times 5. So the common denominator here is 10, and 5 times 2x, it will be 10x. 5 times negative 1, it will be negative 5. And here, negative 2 times 3x, it will be negative 6x. Negative 2 times plus 1, it will be negative 2. And if we want to simplify, 10x minus, so it's over 10. 10x minus 6x, it will be 4x. And minus 5 minus 2, it will be minus 7. So this can be written here. You can say 2x minus 1 over 2 minus 3x plus 1 over 5. Sorry, this one I think it's not clear, so I'm going to make it clear. So it's equal to 4x minus 7 over 10, which is 4 over 10x minus 7 over 10, which is, if we simplify, divide by 2, it will be 2 over 5x minus 7 over 10. We can write the answer in many different ways. Now, this one here, we're going to expand. So I always prefer when you have like 2x minus 3 squared, which means 2x times 2x minus 3 times 2x minus 3. I prefer that you do it on its own. So it will be 4x squared, because 2x times 2x is 4x squared. 2x times negative 3, negative 6x. Negative 3 times 2x is negative 6x. And negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. So it will be 4x squared minus 6x minus 6x is minus 12x plus 9. So this one here can be placed with 4x squared minus 12x plus 9. And now we're going to expand. Minus 3x times x, it's minus 3x squared. Minus 3x times minus 4, it will be plus 12x. Now we are collecting like terms. So 4x squared minus 3x squared, the answer will be 1x squared. And then minus 12x plus 12x are cancelled. And what is left here, don't forget the plus 9. And now our expanding and simplifying is complete. Okay. Let's go here to the factorizing. So when we have a quadratic equation that is written as ax squared plus bx plus c, all what we need to do is to open two brackets. Okay, let me do it actually here since I have the space. So we're going to open two brackets. If c is carrying the negative sign, then one bracket will carry the addition and the other one will carry the subtraction. And 3 basically is a prime number, so we're going to say 2x here times x. This is the first term, will give us 2x squared. 3 is a prime, so only 1 times 3 will give us the number 3. So we have the following options. We're either going to place the 1 here and the 3 here, or we're going to change the signs. Let's check on our work. So 2x times 3, it will give us 6x, and then 1 times x, it will give us, 2x times negative 3, it will give us negative 6x, and 1x, 1 times x, it will give us x. So x plus minus x, it will give us minus 5x, but the middle term is plus 5x. So in this case, what we do is that we change the signs. We change the signs. So this is going to be plus and this is going to be minus, and we're going to keep the 1 here and the 3 here. Let's check one more time on the middle term. So you're going to take the first term by the last term in the second bracket, the second term by the first term in the second bracket. So 2x times 3x is 6x, and minus 1 times x is minus x. Minus x plus 6x will give us 5x, which is the middle term, and this is the correct factorizing. When they tell you, and you have here a fractional expression where they're asking you to simplify it, then you need to factorize the numerator alone and the denominator alone. The numerator is written as pair ax squared plus bx plus c. So in this case, you're going to open 2 brackets. And since the c is carrying the negative sign, then 1 bracket will carry the plus, and the second one will carry the negative sign. This one is equal to 2x times x. 2x squared, it's 2x times x, and then 3 and 1. We already explained the factorizing up there. So we're going to change the sign here. So here it will be plus, minus, and here we'll take the 1 and the 3, because if you say 2x times x, it will give us 2x squared. 2x times 3x, it will be 6x. Minus 1 times x is minus x, so 6x minus x will give us plus 5x, and minus 1 times 3 is minus 3. Now 2x squared minus 18, we need to find that common factor. So 2 is gonna come out, and 2 times x squared will give us back x squared minus 9, because 2 times negative 9 will give us negative 18. Now we need to do another step here. So the numerator is done, which is 2x minus 1 times x plus 3. And here 2 times 2 small brackets inside and the big bracket. So because x squared minus 9, x squared is a squared term and 9 is a squared term. So plus minus x 3, 3. In order to simplify, if you look here, x plus 3 in the numerator is going to be cancelled with x plus 3 in the denominator. So the final answer will be, what is left up here is 2x minus 1 over 2 times x minus 3, and we're done. Thank you so much for watching this video, and we basically solved all possible problems of factorizing that you might come across. So I hope that you find this beneficial, and I hope you watch the video multiple times until you nail the skill of factorizing. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video sometime soon. Thanks.